อ่ะมาครับเพื่อนมาเพื่อนขออภัยครับขี้นานไปหน่อยขออภัยไปแล้วเชลซี แต่คู่นี้แม่งมันอยู่แล้วเพื่อนเพื่อนเข้ามาแล้วฝากกดไลค์กดแชร์ฝากกดติดตามให้ด้วยเข้ามาแล้วฝากกดไลค์กดแชร์ฝากกดติดตามให้ด้วยนะครับเพื่อน
So Enzo Fernandez and Alejandro Garnacho support João Pedro in the middle. The ball comes in. There's almost a UFC-style takedown there on the line between, well, he was at Fafana and Bentancur. João Pedro's in there as well. I think they've both got arms all over each other, but they both go flying into the goal, and that is really sloppy for me.
Yeah, I don't really know what the two of them are doing, to be honest. I mean, the reason why Fafana goes down is because he's leaning into Bentancur, so there's nothing untoward. The referee's given a free kick the way of Tottenham. Obviously, we mentioned about Pedro Porro hitting the deck. I actually think it is genius from the Spaniard. He goes down so that they can make the change, Tottenham, and they can get Xavi Simons ready. Chelsea wanted to take the corner quickly, but Porro just sat himself down and said, nope, I need a minute. And it meant that they could make the change. So clever.
He's one of the dark arts masters in the game, is the Spanish fullback. We are back underway, so about to tick over into 8 minutes. We've had very much a stop-start game so far, and as Luke said, we're expecting a feisty one, and hopefully we can just get back underway and some fluidity can get into the game. Back, Chelsea have it with Chalobah. So it looks like Simon's exactly where Bergvall was going to be. He's on the left-hand side, unless that is a tweak from Thomas Frank. Kudus wins it on the right hand side. Paulinho then dinks it off of the boot of Enzo Fernandez. More of the advanced midfielders is the Argentine this evening. Spurs have it though back with Dancer, of course, still continuing with himself and Van der Ven. He looks to go forward down the byline, down the right hand side. Sarr looks to get there in behind Caicedo, but he's always just going to shuttle that out for a goal kick for the Blues. Cross looking at the standings going into this game. Tottenham right now actually have a point, move up into second, so they'll be quite happy with that, whereas Chelsea, they sit in 8th place. They can go as far as above Spurs if they were to pick up 3 points this evening. Let's go level on points with them, I should say. Apologies. Long ball forward though, looking for João Pedro. Maybe both teams don't really have that vocal point this evening. Not physical threat as you'd want. Jed Spence, this is good play from Spurs, driving forward, pushed off the ball there by James, but he's still going, and Caicedo wants a bite, and the fullback, he's still going. That's a poor pass to Kudus, and then Cucurella will just clear his lines. Races on between Porro and Garnacho, but Spaniard will win it. Plays it back to Vicario, who's under a lot of pressure from João Pedro, and he will punt it long into the Chelsea half, where Caicedo nods it down for Fernandez into James. Bentancur gets a boot into it and into the path of Cucurella. Back to Robert Sanchez, and again right now, even though we've been underway for another 2-3 minutes into the changes and the injury for Bergvall very early on, so I'm not trying to say we should have a real free-flowing game, but waiting for it to really get into action, if you will.
Yeah, I think that's fair enough, though. I think both teams have put out quite cautious sides in terms of the players that are out there. I don't think Chelsea are anywhere near full strength or first choice, you'd say, when you look at the players that are out there as well. So break off, that's a lovely ball over. Can Pedro Neto keep in? He can.
โอ้โหหลบอย่างเท่ไอ้ควายจ่ายอย่างห่วย
Spence does exactly that, but Spence, as soon as he shakes him up, he's right back there. Simons does well to backtrack, but wins a corner. I think, as you said, that's great play from Neto down the right-hand side. It's a long ball, well onside, and for the first time, Spurs playing a really, really high line. Very much, don't know if it's PTSD from Ange Postecoglou's days at Tottenham Hotspur, but a really high line there from Spurs, and Simons gets on the end of it, but blocks it away only as far as another Chelsea corner. Set-piece goals most this season. Well, of course, Arsenal are there, 10th. That's not a shock, but Chelsea are in second on 8, so they do know how to take advantage of set-pieces. Do the Blues. They take it short, though. Garnacho into Gusto. That creates a bit of space for Neto's. Good underlapping run there from Garnacho. Ball swung into the box. It'll fall for Cucurella in the error. He clears it away, though. Blocked away.
ไปโดนเนโต้ไป
On the counter-attack. Kudus, is he brought down there? Yes, he is.
ดูดิครับ
That's
เพื่อน
not a
เน
yellow
โต้
card, if I'm quite honest. Just due to the cynical nature of it. The referee this evening is Jared Gillett, as I said. I'm not quite sure what Chelsea player was there, but we see them usually given us a yellow card. I don't know if the referee's maybe trying to say, look, we're very early in the game, but that was stopping a possible counter-attack for Spurs.
Yeah, it was. He was brought down there by Enzo Fernandez. Was Bentancur, and sorry, Mohamed Kudus, I should say. I think maybe because Kudus didn't quite have control of the ball, that's why he gets away with it. But yeah, also as well in a game like this, you don't want to be giving away yellow cards this early on. You set a precedent, don't you? And yeah, not what you want to be doing.
Yeah, as you said, we can expect probably a good few heavy tackles this game. So I think you're right. Maybe the referee's saying, on another day, on another game,
เอาคุกไปเลยยิง
card, but
เชี่ย
10 minutes
ติด
into
บล็อก
the game, I
ไป
can't give
ส
that
เปอร์
much
ไป
because
ผู้
we
ดุ
end up
โอ้
with everyone on
ฟา
a
ว
yellow card if that was to be a foul and into the book of the ref. Throwing on the left-hand side for the Blues. Chelsea have it with Cucurella. Plays it forward to João Pedro. Goes in behind Danso, but good following up there from Bentancur. Back to Vicario, plays a really awkward pass to Spence on the left-hand side. Goes back to Vicario, but his goalkeeper under a lot of pressure. And he goes back to the left back. Good high press here from Chelsea, and Spence with the outside of his right boot. Lovely ball forward. Colomawali can't bring it down, and it's last off of Fofana at the back. So throwing it will be for Spurs. 12.5 minutes in. Tottenham Hotspur 0, Chelsea 0. London Derby, I mean, we get them every single week usually anyway, but London Derby still nonetheless. It's independent off-tube studio commentary of this clash on a Saturday evening, the late one, usually the late one, but this week, as well as the last few weeks, we've got a later one as well. Myself and Luke will be on the 8 o'clock kickoff as well to take you through all of that. Chelsea trying to maybe just get him in a possession and
สเปอร์กับเชลซีดูทรงก็น่าจะสนุก
of this game. Neto on the right
ศัก
hand
ดิ์ศรีอยู่แล้ว
side
คู่
needs a
นี้
few options, he needs a bit of
ป๋า
balance. It's very static at the moment.
ถึงแม้เชลซีแบบจะอยู่อันดับต่ำกว่าจริงนะเพื่อน
From Spurs, James into Chalobah, back to Fofana, back to Chalobah, and just a bit of passing between the two centre backs. 1-2s here
พูด
and
ถึง
there.
คะแนนก็ห่างกัน
James
3
is
แต้ม
trying
เอ
to
ง
drop deep to get on the ball. They're moving it around well, but then that's lost in the middle. But Cucurella does well to get a boot back in and win the ball. And what I think Spurs are trying to do is almost pounce on Chelsea out. They're trying to get them into areas, pounce on them. That's good play from Fofana though. He's driving forward into Pedro. Heavy pass and heavy touch. It was working as a duo there. Simons, good tackle from Gusto. It'll fall kindly for Fernandez. Swings it out to Garnacho on the left-hand side. Can the Argentine create something? Wants to cut inside. Plays it back to Fernandez. Ball into the box. Screaming for handball is Fernandez. I don't think it was, but we'll have to see a replay. Referee Jared Gillett agrees as well. I'm sure there will be a look at it, but for the time being, nothing is given. Ball forward into Garnacho, into the penalty area. Cuts it back across, deflected away by Danso. Out for a corner kick. Chelsea coming to life there. We'll have to see. I don't think it was a handball, but Fernandez seems certain.
Yeah, it's not a handball, is it? It comes off of his leg first, and the rule is if it deflects up, then it's not a. It's not a handball, and that's exactly what Jared Gillett clearly spotted there. Also, his arms are get by his side. It doesn't make himself bigger in the slightest. So, yeah, it was never going to be given as a penalty. But an opportunity now for Chelsea from the corner. They looked dangerous at times against Sunderland last time out from corners. They could score a goal from a corner. The last delivery that was poor. This one needs to be better.
Yeah, 100%. And there will be another pause as Jared Gillett will go over to the
โคพัมเมอ
players
ร์
in
นี่
the
เจ็บ
penalty
นาน
box
เลยเหรอ
and they'll say, yeah, no worries, ref.
มาช่วงต้นธันวา
We'll do that again.
เบนา
And
ชิ
they'll
ล
do
โค
exactly
เวอ
what
ร์
they
เอ้ย
were doing,
โควิล
pushing and shoving in the
And
six-yard
Suko.
box. They're doing it
Dilap.
right now, so even though he's moved away and everyone is almost just slowly getting morphed into the 6-yard box. In-swinger into the area, cleared away by Vicario. Not confidently though.
ผมว่าสเปอร์ที่แม่งเสียหายคือแบบไอ้นี่เลยนะไอเจมส์ แมนดิสันกับคูโรเซฟกี้อย่างเงี้ยบิซูม่าอย่างเงี้ยเพื่อนโซลันกี้ที่ตัวเจ็บๆอ่ะแล้วก็ไอดาโกซินเนี่ยเพื่อนกองหลังอ่ะชาวเบลเยียมปะโรมาเนียเนี่ยตัวเจ็บเยอะจัดเบนดิลวิทแอชชิเก
he's been exactly the same. Like, well, I couldn't do anything. It's our goal kick.
Yeah, absolutely. It's
ตัวเจ็บเยอะไปหน่อยสำหรับ
สเปอร์ trying to buy those fouls, isn't he? Try and get any sort of advantage he can.
แต่ยังดียังมีตัวสำรองแล้วมีโอโดกี้อย่างเงี้ยมีจอห์นสันมีสไตเลตแล้วมาติเต้ริชาร์ลิสันแล้วก็โอโดบี้
Yeah, it's almost like the dog who cried wolf.
ก็เข้าท่าอยู่ตัวสำรองก็โอเคอยู่
End up not listening to that. Simon's down the left-hand side, shoulder to shoulder with Gusto. Gusto's just too
แต่ผมชอบวิคาริโอนะเพื่อนเหนียวดี
Leipzig man.
แล้วกุสโต
ถอยแล้วเอ็นโซฟวยเอ็นโซเอ้ยจานไม่ฟาวโอ้โหเฮียไม่ฟาวเฉยเพื่อนเข้ามาแล้วฝากกดแล้วก็แชร์ฝากติดตามให้ด้วยนะครับเพื่อน What we expected. Simon's down the left-hand side, driving into the penalty area. James and Gusto as a duo bring him down. Tackles flying in, ball into the box from Spence, dealt with by Chalobah, clears it away, bobbles off of Paulinho, picked up by Fernandez into his skipper. Reece James just outside the penalty area, and then James ends up on the deck, very frantic at the moment. Again, it's exactly what you'd expect from both these teams. They're always going to make an entertaining game out of it, regardless, as Luke said, whether it's sometimes the greatest of football or sometimes the worst of it, but it's always going to be an entertaining game between the two sides. 17 minutes just passed over, still goalless, and I think right now it's finally poised, but we're really waiting maybe for that first clear-cut chance. I know it's still early on, but maybe wait for one team to get that.
Yeah, I think it's one of those games where the first goal is really going to impact the way that this game goes over the course of the 90. So both teams, yes, they'll be desperate to get that first goal. It's risk versus reward. Do we commit the bodies forward and really push for that first goal and potentially leave ourselves exposed, or do we just make sure that we're not the ones to concede that first goal?
Yeah, 100%. It's so early on as well, you don't want to make a mistake, do you? Looking at the head-to-head history in the Premier League, 66 games, Spurs won 8 of them, 37 Chelsea wins, 21 draws. The Blues have definitely dominated this fixture of, well, in the Premier League, just over 30 years of history in the Premier League. So Chelsea will be confident, but Spurs are the home side and they'll be hoping for a turnover this evening. Gusto picks it up in the middle, sprays it out to Neto on the right-hand side. He's going to drive forward, gets a better Spence down the byline. He's a ball into the box just over the head of Fernandez Cucurella. He will keep it in well on the left-hand side.
แม่งดีกันมันจัดไอ้คู่เนี้ย
Caicedo, Garnacho on the left-hand side, just into the penalty area. One trick, two tricks, back across goal it comes. João Pedro nearly picks it up, and Kudus just has to clear his lines and hope for the best there. Garnacho's looking lively. So far in this game, I think Pedro's looking a little bit better as well. Oh, shot. James has it. Might even go for a strike at goal here. Yes, he will. Should have passed it to the right-hand side. The skipper there. High, wide, and probably closer to the corner flag there. Enzo Maresca, he might be happy that his side are in control of the game, but I do look at this Spurs side and think they can catch a lot of people on the counter. So Chelsea play that high line. They've got to be careful of that. James there goes for the strike at goal, well wide. He was given space, so I don't blame him, but Chelsea just have to create a better chance than that.
Yeah, they do. They've just got to be patient. As you're playing against the Thomas Frank side, you're not going to be able to break them down with one move. You need a sustained spell of pressure, or you need a player to make a mistake like Xavi Simons has. Here comes Garnacho.
Down the left-hand side.
เล่นกันโคตรมันเลยแล้วเพื่อนลุย
A little bit too obvious. Then he plays it into Fernandez, and Paulinho is digging his heels. 1-2 between the two Argentines. Falls for Garnacho. He goes for a strike at goal.
มาแล้วลิเจมยิง
Vicario ends up in the arms of the Spurs goalkeeper. Then that was one of them where it felt quite kindly for Garnacho after it just bobbled back from Enzo Fernandez. It's one of them where he doesn't really hit it sweetly or with too much power. It bobbles on the surface, and Vicario was always in control, but there was that one moment that I thought, oh, could that take a deflection off someone and go past the goalkeeper?
Yeah, it's the last two shots that Chelsea taken, haven't they, where they've been stretching as they go to find the finish, and it's meant that they've been either, in Reece James's case, really quite inaccurate and away from the goal, or in Garnacho's case, really quite tame and easy to save.
Ball back from Gusto to Sanchez. He's not going to get there, and it will go out for a corner for Spurs. And for Spurs, that's what you might be doing. Let's just try and pounce on a mistake. You spoke about how it's at risk versus reward. Chelsea being a bit riskier, where Spurs have just been a little bit more calm and defensive. But if they go corner, then
cannot be giving away opportunities like that at the drop of a hat. You have to make the opposition work for their chances. You've got to make them earn the chance to get a shot off on goal or get the ball inside the penalty area. Pedro Porro just going over to the corner now to take this one. It will be an in-swinger from the left side with the Spaniard's right boot. Looks like Enzo Fernandez is on Kolo Muani. It looks as though Malo Gusto's dealing with Joao Polina, Reece James and Moises Caicedo looking like they're dealing with the two centre-halves. Porro telling players to calm down. I'm going to take a guess this is going towards the back post, Lewis.
Yeah, it's an absolute ram 6-yard box. I think you're right. That's where it's going to go. Right on the goalkeeper. Chalobah gets there in front of Sanchez. I think the goalkeeper did have it covered. To give him credit, Porro. It's a decent in-swinging ball. Chalobah knocked it wide of the target there. Asking the questions of the Chelsea defence. I think it was probably meant for the back post. Maybe Porro gets it wrong, but nearly end up going in the back of the net anyway.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, no disrespect to Robert Sanchez, but I think most teams when they come when they face Chelsea, they look at the goalkeeper and they say that's where we can create some opportunities, put him under pressure. Let's see what sort of errors we can force him into this week.
So it was an in-swinger from Porro from the left for Spurs. Now it's on the right. It'll be an in-swinger from Kudus. Right on the goalkeeper again. It'll fall on the edge of the area for Simons. No, it won't as kindly as it originally looked like. He will then dink one back into the box. That's a poor cross. Falls for Porro. And Spurs keep the attack alive. Out to Simons on the left-hand side. Fizzes one into the back sticks. Looking for Dancer. Good confidence. And a little goalkeeping there from Sanchez. It felt a little bit awkward there, didn't he? It doesn't look comfortable, does Sanchez. And that'll be a worry for Chelsea because as much as maybe a lot of people don't think he's the number one, this and that, Enzo Moreira's quite happy with him. They're playing out from the back, very dangerous, especially with an injured goalkeeper there. And if I'm Spurs, I'm trying to get on this ball as quickly as I can and just go for a pop at goal. If it's an injured goalkeeper, he can't move as freely as he'd like.
Yeah, absolutely. As soon as you see a player grimace, you target them, don't you? You try and take advantage of that, even if it's just a momentary thing that somebody will be able to run off. You put the pressure on and you really try and make them pay for showing any kind of weakness. That's what Spurs need to do, although Chelsea set up really quite nicely to force them back to Vicario.
Yeah, they do, and the Vicario with Sudds on the ball, and he's almost teasing a press out of Chelsea. But 23 minutes on the clock. The first half absolutely flown by at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. It's independent off-tube studio commentary of the clash. London derby. I know we get a lot of them in the Premier League, but another one this Saturday evening. Goalless so far, hoping it ramps up a little bit as we get on into the game and take us through to half-time. Pass over to Lou.
Thank you very much, Lewis. Ball at the feet now of Vicario. Long ball forward. Looking towards Kolo Muani. Header won initially by Fofana, though Spurs win it in midfield and then give it away through Kudus. And now Reece James has it just inside the centre circle. Moves it onto the right side for Gusto inside Spurs territory. For options around him, we'll just lay it off to Pedro Neto. Neto thought about switching the ball to Garnacho on the far side, so we'll just lay it off to James. James now finds Chalobah. We'll go further on to the left for Cucurella. Now with Garnacho trying to link up with Enzo Fernandez. Referee plays advantages. Fernandez is flattened. Garnacho born to the box. Not a bad one. Neto's there waiting, but I think Spurs will just about be able to get it clear, and indeed they will. And they've built it up nicely. Kudus clears the midfield. Great tackle from Cucurella. Simmons though then wins it back off for Neto. Benson Kerr lays it off to Papsar. Papsar then loses out to Caicedo. Play will continue. Van der Ven now has it. Papsar still on the deck, but I think he's going to be okay. Van der Ven ball down the line, intercepted by Reece James.